All right. Hello, hello. We should be live now. Yeah, everything looks good. Just going to wait for a bit for people to arrive, if they're going to. Okay, everything looks good. Okay. All right. I guess I'll just start. I'll probably make this into a VOD anyways, so that it's watchable uh, later for an audience. So I guess, yeah, sorry that it's at such short notice. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to stream at all because, yeah, I mean, I wrote the reasons into my community post, if you saw that. If not, I got a bit sick over Eastern, so I wasn't really able to, yeah, produce any kind of videos as I wanted to. I like to actually, let me just turn myself down a bit because I see I'm a little bit loud maybe. Okay. Yeah, because I basically got a bit sick over Eastern, and so yeah, couldn't really record any kind of videos, which I wanted to in my 2-week cadence. So yeah, basically I thought, what can I do? It's like late in the week and I have no video, and I thought, I could maybe do a stream if my voice returns. Luckily it did. It's still a bit iffy, as you might hear. So yeah, sorry for that. Also sorry for the weird video quality. I kind of have to do it today with my webcam. So yeah, the quality is a bit lower than usual, but after all, as you can see in the title, it's just a bit of a chill stream. Going to see if people tune in. If not, then I'm gonna do my own thing for a bit. This is only going to be for 1 hour or something like this anyway, so should be fine. And yeah. Yeah, I don't have a like too strict plan that I'm going to follow. Basically, I'm going to do everything from just talking about stuff. So I basically talked already a bit about yeah, my channel, and I'm going to do like a couple of more notes too. Then I'll maybe show some stuff on a loop station, some ideas that I have. Maybe I'll figure out something new live. We'll see. And yeah, other than that, of course, always, if there's anything in the chat, then would be down to discuss this as well. Can also talk about GBB. That would be fine. Yeah, just no React. No React today. I don't really have a face cam anyway, or at least the cam that I'm using right now, I'm using for my loop station, so it's not really possible, but yeah. All right. So maybe before I go into looping stuff here, just yeah, in terms what of planning, what I'm planning to do with my channel. So I already talked about the 2 weeks thingy upload. I know it's not really the craziest cadence anyways, right? Like 2 weeks is not that not that crazy, but I quickly realized that, if you want to do tutorials like I did with, especially with longer content, which I kind of like, then this is taking a lot of time. And not only that, it's also that if I will keep on doing this, then I'm quickly going to run out of ideas and out of stuff to do within a couple of months, I think. This doesn't mean that I will stop doing it like this. It's just maybe videos will be a bit shorter or a bit more condensed into a specific into a specific idea. I also read through all the comments and try to answer every single one of them. So I basically saw there that that maybe it would be better to talk about some stuff more in depth. And basically, if I want to do that, I can combine two things, which is that I can make things about a specific thing, and then just talk a bit longer about this kind of stuff. This would allow me to, basically have more content that I can do long term, but then also maybe have like these 10-15 minute videos that I like at the moment at least. So maybe I'll do that. And other than that, I will keep on doing tutorials. I will keep on doing original music too, but this always takes a long time. So don't expect too much of the stuff. And maybe I'll also move on to other stuff as well. So yeah, we'll see basically. All right. I think that's it for just my ideas in terms of the channel at the moment. So maybe I could show what I'm working on right now. Yo, okay. Hi, I see your comments, but I don't see it too big at the moment, so give me just a second. Gonna move things around a bit. Okay, yeah, hi United. Yeah. Also alone at the moment. I mean, I guess not anymore. But yeah, do you have any specific stuff you want to suggest? Feel free to leave it in the comments, and we can maybe chat about stuff. So yeah. But yeah, nice to see you. I guess in the meanwhile, you are united. Yeah, very good. Untied. Oh, sorry. I actually misread. Oh, whoops. My bad. Yeah, apparently can't read. God damn it. Okay, let me just go into, where is it? 66. Nope. 68 it was. Nope, wasn't that too? You did it on purpose. Come on, that's just mean. That is just really mean. But I guess you got me. Man, it's not 68 either. Ah, there we go. There we go. Had a reverb on it here. What kind of technique? Have to be more specific. Like Cardona. Um, well, kind of depends on what you mean. Um, Also with stuff like this, I'm not really sure if it's good for me to go into too much details because these are others people's tracks, right? And didn't really get any permission. But I mean, if it's just some general thing, then maybe I can talk about it. But what in specific do you mean? It's probably the thing he does at the start, right? With the transpose and the bouncing, I guess. Yeah, I can maybe show you something like that. It's not too difficult. I guess it's also like kind of technique that multiple loopers have used. So if you want, I can maybe show it to you. If that's even what you mean. So you mean basically the yeah, okay. So you mean the recording at the start? Yeah, I can show it to you. No problem. Okay. So basically, hopefully you can see it a bit. I talked about it a bit earlier in the stream. Like the video quality is a bit garbage. But yeah, maybe you can see it anyways. So maybe let's just put a granular delay. Mirsa as well. Yeah. Plenty of loopers did it by now. I think it's a pretty well known technique, so I guess it's fine if I just show it. Okay. Do you have some chords? If not, then maybe I'll just do like, I don't know. I don't know. So some standard stuff. I don't even know what note this is. But yeah. So basically the trick is putting just a simple note on one of your effects and with feedback 100, right? So this is pretty standard delay stuff. Can do it also with the Osbot or like even with a freeze if you really want to. Okay, A minor, yeah, can do that. If I can figure out what this note was, but yeah. Okay, so basically the trick is putting a granular delay and then a transpose sequencer. So, nope, transpose. Okay, and basically in the transpose sequencer, you're putting in your nodes of choice, right? So, and basically you're doing this on 4 different tracks. You don't have to do it like that. There are a couple of different variations. I can also show it actually to you how I did it inside my own track. But basically you're putting in your notes. So let's say, I'm not sure if this is a minor, but let's just do a minor chord. So this is like the most simple thing, right? So we have the notes or the transpose thingy with 0, then 3, then 7, and 12. This is just a simple minor chord. So if I do this, then we have a minor chord. Hello to the second person joining us in the chat. Hello. If you have any suggestions for explaining stuff or other stuff, leave it in the comments. But yeah, basically, so you see how I recorded the chord, right? I think that's probably clear to you, right? It's basically just recording one layer over another with the transposed notes. And this you can basically then do for for multiple different chords. So let's add another chord. Maybe now, I don't know, let's just do a major chord. So yeah, with, I don't know, two higher. That doesn't need to make sense right now. I'm just basically, I don't understand how it makes a chord. Okay, sure. That's no problem. I can explain it. So basically, you have your basic note, right? You have the fundamental note, let's just call it. And then on B, you have the transpose sequencer, which changes this note. So let's just pretend, I don't know what kind of note it is, but let's pretend we actually had the A note. So what our transpose sequencer does is it transposes it to 0, which is just the A note. Then it transposes it to +3, which is a C. Then to +7, so that's an E. And then to +12, which is an A. And basically, what you do is you record this all onto one track. So you have your A, you have your C, your E, and your A. And you basically just overdub it onto one track. And this makes the chord. So maybe let me just show it again. Let me also maybe just adjust the tempo so that it's not different every time. Okay. How to make DNB kick. Yes, stream will be recorded. I can also maybe show you at least the kick that I use in just a bit. I'm just quickly showing Untied a chord recording technique. So give me like maybe 5 minutes or something. And then I go into the kick. But yeah, Untied, is it maybe a bit more clear how the chord thing works? I'm guessing you have your own ASCII 505, right? So maybe you can just do stuff along with me. And maybe that makes it better, because it is kind of hard to talk while the transpose sequencer is on, because it will transpose my voice, right? But yeah, it's basically all about just transposing the the basic notes that you input. So record for one note. Yes, exactly. Like also you don't have to do it on the input FX only. Like you could just, maybe that's even better to show off. Yeah, texture is not really nice, but doesn't really matter as of right now. So you could record this too. Overlap. Yes. So basically, your initial recording. Your initial recording is just the first step of the transpose sequencer, if you want to think about it like that, right? So you basically record in 4 steps. And the first step is recording the initial note, right? Which is like the red thing. And then you switch into overdub, right? So basically everything else is yellow. And yeah, then basically in the second loop, it is this note. In the third loop, it is this one. And in the fourth one, it is this one, right? So basically with every new loop that you have, you're moving on one step of the transpose sequencer. Yes, exactly. Loop length is one note. Yes. That's basically it. So you also have to be careful with the sequencer step rate, I think is the sequencer rate. So basically the sequencer rate has to match the loop length of this track. So yeah. Please tell me, what do you use? Well, it's kind of difficult to say. I I mostly use Audacity. I'm not sure if that's even a DAW, but that's what I mostly use for recording. Other than that, I actually just use Cubase because of my um, uh, because of my audio interface that I bought a while back, and that's where I also did the mastering for my loop track. But I'm really not a pro at it. Like I'm just getting started, I guess. Yo, Red Frost, what's going on? um, but yeah, that's basically it. Um, Actually, yeah. I guess I can maybe show you now the kick. Okay, for those pattern slicer. No, for the chord technique, you don't really need a slicer, no. So usually the way I use slicers with chords is basically to create the envelope, if you know about that kind of stuff, of your sounds. So basically to make it appear like it's actually a note. Like if I do it with the piano here, it's not something that has like feedback 100, you know. So it doesn't hold the note. So basically, if you want to make an appearance of a note being played, just like with a piano, then you can use a step slicer. But in terms of just creating the chords, you don't need stuff like this, no. But yeah, I'm just quickly showing the kick. Okay, so the kick that I used for my D&B track, which I mean, to be fair, like this kick I use for other stuff as well, and it's not really magic. I think most people use like something along these lines. It's just basically you have a high pass filter with like 40 or 50 resonance, right? And cut off at 23. And then I just put an EQ. This EQ was way different at the start, but I basically changed it around a bit to fit my mix a bit better. So you may want to adjust these settings so that it fits better with your kick and with your mix also. But yeah, that's basically just it. That's basically it, and then just do a simple kick, right? And then what I also did is, because I sequenced it in any case, I just put a step slicer on it to sequence it. And this basically also allowed me to put a bit of compression onto it. It's not perfect at all, but the nice thing with the step slicer is that you can compress it a bit. So I recommend you do that. If you sequence it anyway, might as well do it, right? So yeah, that's basically it. So high pass filter, EQ, and then a step slicer. EQ, high pass filter, sustainer. Kick is kind of weak. Yeah, I actually tried sustainer for a bit. I know there was a talk on the Clip server about kick and sustainer, but to be honest, it didn't make much of a difference for me. But yeah, maybe it could be a bit better. It just hasn't worked for me so far, and it's also a bit different. That's also something I should mention, is that I'm using a different mic. Like right now, I'm not really using a singing mic, and I'm also using a pop filter. So in that way, my kick will also probably sound a bit different than most other people's. But yeah. but maybe that helps already. But yeah, like Red Frost said in the chat, try it also with Sustainer. Maybe it does something for you, um, but yeah, for me, I just didn't see much difference so far, even with different settings. Cutoff between 0 and 13. I actually also tried around different setting with this. 0 and 13 does give more sub, that's true, but that wasn't really. I think because of my mix, I probably changed it around too because of my other layers have a bit more sub. So basically, these settings weren't really doing too much. Like it disappeared anyways because of other layers. But yeah, I mean, these are just my specific settings for this track, so that doesn't mean that it's good to use this in general. I would change it around for other tracks, but yeah. But I guess I mean, I can just try it. Like, why not? Maybe let's do something like this. Okay, this time I also did a bit stronger kick. Yeah, I guess here it's really in the details, but yeah, what I'm trying to say, it depends on the track, I think. Okay, let me just quickly take a sip of water. Sorry if my voice is still a bit rough. Still in the process of getting better. So yeah. Okay, yeah, something else I was going to show. Untied, are you still in the chat? Because then maybe I can show the other chord thingy that I mentioned earlier, which is basically how I did it inside my own track. And for this, you basically just need 2 tracks instead of 4. And yeah, maybe we can show this. Yeah. Okay. Good. So yeah, basically the trick for this one is to put it all onto one track. You then use a single transpose sequencer. So maybe let's just do that. I think, yeah, that's the one. And then bounce it onto another track. So let me just do the inputs. Hopefully it won't sound too weird. I think it was, yeah. I actually can't, because I'm still a bit sick, I actually can't do the input sound right now. This is so awkward. Let me just try again, wait. Okay, so this is not how it's supposed to sound like, but it is something. So let's just do it like that. And let me just see if all the appropriate settings are on. Yeah, looks good. Okay. So basically, this is a bit harder to show, but I will try my best. You have bounce on. Then, yeah, basically also the bounce out on track 4 is also on. And then what I simply do is just put a transpose sequencer onto this track, and I will bounce all of this onto this one. And maybe I will show it first, and then in the next step I can maybe explain it a bit more in detail. But maybe you will already see what happens here. Okay, so let's go. That was the wrong effect. Nice one. Okay. So maybe you already got it. If not, it's very similar to what I showed earlier, only that it's now with 4 chords. And also the chords are created every 4 steps, right? So we have a loop length or a loop rate, sequencer rate, that's the word, of this half note. And this means because we have 4 chords, we have a total track length of 2 for track 3, which you can see right here. So we have 2 measures basically for track 3. Now this is no. This is not bounce replace. This is actually simply overdub, right? So if I go here, you see overdub for track 3. This actually has nothing to do with replace because, basically we're bouncing from one track onto another. It wouldn't, I don't think it would work with replace bouncing because, as you can see here, the track lengths don't match, and that's usually a problem if you want to do it with replace bouncing, which means you would do it on the same track, right? But this would not really work here because the loop lengths are different. So yeah, this is not replace bouncing because we're bouncing from one track onto another. This is just overdub because basically the chords are placed onto one another, right? So as I was saying, basically each chord is created every 4 steps basically. So the first chord is sequencer value 1, then sequencer value 5, value 9, and then lastly value 13, right? So these are the values. Basically, these make up the first chord, and then basically second chord is value 2, then value 6, and so on. And with that, you can create very easily, just with 2 tracks, 4 chords. Just take another sip. All right. So hopefully that makes a bit of sense. If not, you can just write it in the chat. Also, maybe if you don't understand like a specific thing, also maybe write in the chat like at what point maybe it's unclear, and then I can go into more detail about that. But maybe it's already clear. And yeah. How do you do multiple chords? Okay, so basically, when you think about this, like this is a bit different than the other chord technique I showed you earlier, right? Because in the other chord technique, it's very simple. You just program in your chords one after another, right? So if you have a minor chord, for example, you just program in 0, then 3, then 7, then 12. And for this one, it's a bit more complicated. Almost cleared, yeah. Okay, good. For this one, it's a bit more complicated because basically the chords, the notes that belong to each other are every 4th value instead, and not every 1 value, right? So the chords are created, maybe, how can I show this the best to you? Maybe I can, what I can do maybe is show it for you just with 1 chord. Okay, let's do it like this. I'm basically I will show this to you just for the first chord. And every other value I will turn to -12. So you will hear a pretty big difference. Okay, -12. And -12. Okay, let me just quickly hear how this sounds. Maybe it sounds a bit too crazy. Yeah, should be fine. Okay. Now let me just record it and I will explain again after. Okay, so I think you can now pretty clearly hear that only the first chord, right? Like usually I would have 4 chords on this track, but right now I only have the first chord. Everything else I, as you just saw here, turned to -12, right? So the rest doesn't matter right now. We really just care about the first chord. And as you can see here, the first chord I created by changing the values 1, 5, 9 and 13. So this clearly makes up the first chord. And this is because what we're doing right here, so this track has 1/4 of the loop length of this track, which means that, yeah, basically we're moving through 4 values right here before we move on to the next layer of our chords, right? So think of it like this. When we're bouncing it, then the first layer records really just the first values of all the chords, right? So it's not just one chord, but basically all the values for all of the chords. Sorry, all of the first layers. Okay, let me rephrase. I feel like I'm making it worse right now. I'm sorry for that. So basically, for the first loop, you're really just recording the first layer of all the chords, right? So in the initial recording, we really only care about this first value. And then after, right, we have the second layer, then the third layer, and then the fourth layer, just like before. But yeah, now it's instead just every fourth value, right? So maybe let's show it again. Okay. Does that make a bit more sense? Yes. So the first layer, basically, as you saw right now, I had 4 layers in total. And the first layer is the first note of the first chord, right? So this value right here. And also on top of that, it would usually also be value 2, value 3, and value 4. But these are the other chords that we don't really care about right now. We really only care about the first chord that I showed you right now. So it's really just value 1. And then the second layer is this note, which is value 5. And this is the second note of the chord. And so on, right? Third layer, we have the third note of the chord. Fourth layer, we have the fourth note of the chord. But yeah. I guess like these kind of things, it's a bit weird to explain at times. So maybe I can really just recommend if you have your own loop station, which I'm guessing you have, if you care about this kind of stuff, really just try this on your own. It will make much more sense, I promise you. Like just try it out with really simple chords, right? You just to first understand it. Like if you understand it, then you can do more complex chords and you can try to imitate chords of your favorite loopers. But really just try to get how the technique works by getting the chords, maybe looking up. I'm not sure how familiar you are with music theory. If you're not, then maybe just look up the intervals. But I mean, for a minor chord, it's really just 0, 3, 7, 12 every single time. So yeah, maybe just try that out. Yeah. So for this one, the loop is not okay. Okay. I mean that's fine, right? But so it basically sounds like still you have a loop station, right? So it doesn't really matter if it's right now or later. I don't mean like at this particular moment you have to do this. It's just later on for understanding this technique. When you get around to it, I can just recommend try this out. Maybe with the technique that I showed you earlier. Try this out first, and then if you got the hang of that, you can maybe try out this, and it will make so much more sense. I can promise you. Yeah. Yeah, I mean the Osborne technique is like the standard thing, right? It's also completely fine. Like these techniques that I'm showing are a bit more advanced. Like I'm not even trying to sound like I have like everything about this loop station super figured out, but what I like to do is just trying to make more advanced sound design at least. And from my experience with more advanced sound design, Osbot is not the best way to go, if I could just say it like that. So, and at that point, you gotta figure out some other techniques. Because if you don't have Osbot, you also don't have the integrated transpose sequence of the Osbot, and then you need to figure out other stuff to accomplish this. But yeah, for this technique in specific, I basically did it because of what you already wrote. Because I needed to save tracks in a way, right? Because this technique is as fast as the other technique from earlier, but you need less tracks. Also, the nice benefit that it has is, I'm not sure if you listen to my track, but it also kind of seems like I'm just playing the melody, but I'm also secretly recording the chords in the background without you knowing that I'm trying to do this. So that was basically the thought behind doing it in the way I did it. But yeah, it's just the same thing, a little bit different, basically. But yeah. So yeah, maybe I should then also mention. So what I did in my original track, for anyone interested right here, I have track 3 on mute. So if you watch my silent bouncing video, I explain it in more detail there, but basically that's what I meant when I talked about recording the chords silently without you knowing that I'm actually creating chords right now. So what I would do is, actually I have to go back into this chord because I destroyed the chords. So weird things are going on right now, but I promise you it will make sense in a second. Okay. So yeah, what I usually do is I mute output 3. Okay. And what this allows me to do is I mean, I guess in this case it wouldn't really matter, because I do it actually for a different thing. But the nice thing about muting track 3 in this instance is that, as you can see, I can have the fader up. I don't need to turn it down, but I can still record the chords, and you will not hear the chords, right? So yeah, with the 4 chords, yeah. And basically, I'm showing it to you right now. Just I will do it silently now, right? So you won't hear the actual chord recording. All you will hear right now is just the transpose sequencer playing, which I guess what I can show you while I'm recording this is I can point to you to every single value. I think that would make a lot of sense. Okay, so just try to watch as closely as you can with my shitty webcam quality. Let me just check that I have everything set up right. Yeah, looks good. And yeah, then basically watch closely what happens. So this is the initial note. And now let's record this. Messed it up right here, sorry. And that's basically it. Hopefully you saw what I meant. So the first thing you might have realized is that you couldn't hear the chords, right? And even if I play it now, you can't hear it. Because that was the plan, right? Like I wanted to record the chords without you hearing them, because I was going to surprise you with these chords in my first track, my first drop, sorry. And but I still basically wanted to give you this melody, right? And but now, if I unmute this track, you can clearly hear that it's recorded, right? So yeah, that's, I think, something that could be pretty useful. Because you don't need to show off your chords immediately. You can do like 2 separate things, right? Like you can do your melody first and then just later introduce the chords. You hear it in the headphones. I'm not sure what you mean with that. Like the output, I mean, I can go to my OBS, but I'm pretty sure the output. Yeah, you can't hear it. Like if I mute the track, then you can't hear it. Alright. But yeah, I guess I talked a lot now about this chord recording thing, and I mean, if there's still questions about this, you can go ahead and ask me. But maybe if we want to move on onto another things, I mean, the point you hide the chords. Yes, exactly. That's basically just it. Just hiding the chords. Fader. Well, in this case, it's because I do something else. It's maybe a bit hard to explain. Like I explained it in one of my tutorials, but basically, I do a bit of silent bouncing onto this track. I feel like it would be a bit too explaining, but basically, I'm also recording my bass line onto this track, and then I bounce from this track onto track 1. My bass line to make it sound a bit cooler. And for this technique, basically the fader can't be 0. also, even if I didn't do that, it's kind of nice to just have it like that, because I don't need to worry about, like, I basically can't forget that the fader is at 0. It's just a little thing. Like I said, I need to do it for another technique anyway, so yeah, might as well, you know. All right, yeah, thanks for participating in the chat. Bye-bye. Okay, yeah, I mean, if anyone else in the chat or that's watching the stream has any questions, then feel free to ask. It's not just a one or two man show, you know. Can moin, 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 moin. Ja, falls irgendwelche Fragen auf Deutsch, I'm just quickly going into German. Ja, falls irgendwelche Fragen auf Deutsch sind, kann ich bei schnellen Fragen versuchen, es auf Deutsch zu beantworten, aber generell würde ich es gerne auf Englisch beibehalten, wenn das okay wäre, weil dann können alle mit dran teilnehmen. Ja. Ja. Okay, I guess now I can maybe show you some other stuff that I've been working on. Nothing finished, of course. That's why I'm working on it. But yeah. So 67. Yeah, there it is. So basically, I found this reverb. I was trying to get like a piano sound, and maybe it was kind of inspired by the Juno wildcard, you know, maybe not. Actually, can't remember too much if it was actually inspired by that, but yeah, I don't really have a launch pad, so I had to figure out some other way. I didn't really get it, but this is kind of like the thing that I have right here. At least gets in the direction of it, so yeah. Connect MIDI switch with 500 chip to the RC505. Okay, yeah, I know I asked for questions, but I actually can't help you with that. I'm sorry, because I'm only using this loop station, and the only thing that I've used with MIDI is just with my piano. So, so I'm really not sure how this would work. But usually, I mean, everything MIDI is just here with the MIDI connection. But yeah, I guess I really shouldn't try to answer this question, because I just don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah. But I guess for this one, it kind of reminded me a bit of hip hop, especially after I made that melody, right? So, so yeah, I guess I made some structures behind it. Like the drums suck a bit, but it's really fine. Let me actually look on which channel I'm here right now. It's like something like this. Oh. Yeah, messed that up completely. Yeah, so something like this. Actually, I also forgot there's the setting. I have to save the setting, because you can speed change Where was it? Yeah, after the loop end makes this much simpler. But yeah, have to save that. How long have you been looping for? Like 1.5 years, maybe. It's kind of weird. Like I got into the scene about in I think 2022. Yeah, must have been 2022 with the classic Zaro versus MB14 loop battle, and I immediately got like really hooked and got also a bit more interested in music production because before that I didn't have any experience whatsoever. Like aside from playing piano a bit, didn't really have any experience with music production at all. So I started getting into it a bit, and yeah, then I think in September or October 2022, I bought a loop station. But yeah, haven't really done anything too serious for quite a while, and then basically just last year, I think last year in summer, I kind of decided I wanted to do it like a bit more seriously, I guess, and actually try to finish a track, which was something that was very hard to me and still is. So yeah, I guess depending on how serious it was, it's like either 9 months or 1.5 years, I guess. Favorite genre? D&B. I will have to say it. Not even sure if it's because of looping or not. I think even before that, it's just something nice about that tempo and the drums, I guess. I don't know. Like, I also like different types of D&B, like melodic or liquid D&B are probably my favorites. So definitely stuff with harmonies and melodies and like cool sounds and stuff like that. So yeah, it's probably my favorite. What's yours? I guess in the meantime, could I actually just do what I could show you maybe if you're interested is the piano sound, or like I'm still not sure if it's a piano sound, but yeah. Was it right here? This one. Heavy stuff. Yeah. Punchy kick. Yeah. Yeah, kick is so difficult. I swear to God, like on loop, kick is so incredibly difficult. It seems so easy because like already with a um beatbox kick you can already do so much. But like if you wanna get really good kicks for looping and producing and stuff like that with beatbox kicks as an input, it gets like really difficult because maybe you have a punchy kick, but then it's too loud in the mix, or it has like the wrong frequencies. It's just a mess. I also have to work on that. We talked a bit earlier about what kind of kicks I use. I think I probably have to also increase my variety in that sense. But yeah. Stop settings. Yeah, I have the newest version. After it, I was like, yeah, maybe you can actually show that. Yeah, I wasn't too happy either after the update because, as you said, it makes stuff a bit weird. Because where is it? Oh god, navigating this track is just a mess. But basically, I just have a filter for my last transition. And once I turn on the filter, everything suddenly gets really loud. And I actually had to tone it down a bit in the master. Was quite annoying. Also, for some reason, like I'm not sure if you're yeah, no, I think they wrote it in patch notes, so I think you probably know. But like, they made it so that um, like some effects got stereo. Like what was it again? Yeah, the distortion got stereo, which actually wasn't that great for this track because yeah, basically I wanted this. I kind of wanted this to be mono, and like sometimes I don't know why, but reverb can make it so that things get stereo, and like a weird kind of stereo, just puts it a bit to the left or the right, I can't remember. And so basically what the distortion did beforehand was make it mono, and so I didn't need to worry about that kind of thing. But now it's stereo, which means that it's the entire time a bit to the left, I think. It's not a big deal. Could even say it makes the mix a bit better, but that's just weird. Wait, where's the mixer? Right here. And why does it not show the output? But maybe, I mean, I guess if you checked it in, like in a DAW, you would see that it's a bit shifted to the left or right. But yeah. Okay, I gotta catch up on comments. Just a second. Is it possible to connect two microphones so that only one of them goes to the looper? It's just the way out. Okay. Or the way out. So you mean, like, if you connect the two microphones, you mean basically one goes to the output, so what the listener hears, and one goes only to your headphones. Is that what you mean, or? Okay, everything is just too loud. And the thing is, oh, the filter. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Isma. That's 100% my fault. I like it would have totally been fine if they just gave you the option to select limiter or not and mono or stereo or not. Yeah. I mean, I think like that there's a way to down patch it or whatever you want to call it, but I didn't care about it enough. But yeah, it was definitely not the best update. I'll say that. Yeah. Also, guys, if you could maybe chat in English, that would be perfect, because otherwise, like, I understand a couple of languages, but yeah. Yeah. So I think I'll be streaming for another like 10 to 15 minutes. So yeah, if you have any questions, I think now would be a really good time. I can maybe answer them. Also, aside from that, like if maybe it's not even tutorial related or whatever, if there's just something you want to chat about, maybe I guess some of you will for sure be interested in GBB. If there's anything to you want to chat about, let me know. Yeah, aside from that, because I don't want to bore you guys, I can maybe... What I could also do, I thought about it for a second, is maybe I could play my track. But it's been a while since I've played my track, so I also don't really want to mess it up. So, but maybe, like, if you guys want, I can maybe try it. Aside from that, I can also maybe go to this one. 70, was it? Yeah, that's the one. Because, yeah, it's been quite a while, but I found like a pretty cool organ type sounding. My God, what do I want to call it? Yeah, like this organ type of sound, and I think there's quite a bit of potential there. It's basically just. Oh, sorry for that. Sorry for that. Yeah, basically the essence of it is just flanger and octava, and then putting some like cool stereo effects on it, and you can make a pretty cool sound. Like this one. And yeah, there are a couple of different ways. Like you can do it with granular delay. You can also do it with, like here, with a freeze, and then it's a bit more raw in a way. But yeah, let's maybe just delete one of this to show you that I can actually input it. But I probably will have to input, silent record it, because otherwise it might feedback a bit. So. Yeah, something like this. Right. You could see that I recorded this new. So I guess there's some potential there. I can just recommend you guys flanger, octava, and then put some reverb panning delay on it. Will sound pretty great. Incoming channel microphone. Yeah, you can actually do that up to a point. So basically, if you go into one of your input effects, right here, and then you go to the left, then you can actually select what kind of input you want to have. So basically, like the default setting will be all, but you can also have mic 1, mic 2. Can actually maybe demonstrate this to you with, let's just maybe put a reverb, right? Yeah. Okay, let's make it a bit louder. And then also let's select this effect only for mic, right? So as you can see right here, it will apply on my mic, but not anything else. But now if I play the piano, you can see like the reverb applies on my mic, but not on the piano, right? If I would do it on instrument 1 instead, you can hear right now that it doesn't apply to my voice anymore, but now it applies to the piano. Let me turn it a bit louder. Yeah, you can hear it. Reverb applies to piano, but not my voice. And that's at least a way to do it for effects. You can also do this exact same thing for all of your tracks. If you go, I maybe did it a bit fast, sorry. If you go to loop, and then you go to track, and so right now we're doing this for track 4 basically, and then you go all the way back to the right, and yeah, you can see the same thing right here, so you can basically select what you want to record and what you don't want to record, and that's basically it. Not sure if there's much else you can do. So basically you just have to select what kind of inputs you have. But yeah. The piano technique. Okay, so you probably mean what I just showed a bit earlier. Yeah. Just have to find the track. Yeah, there we go. This one, right? Like for this melody, right? Can you just maybe confirm it, just so that I'm not explaining completely wrong thing? But yeah, I guess I'm pretty sure that's what you mean. So yeah, maybe let me just explain it to you right now. So basically, it's actually kind of simple, I would say. If you want to call 4 effects simple, but yeah, just sorry, granular delay with the settings. Hopefully you can see them. You don't need to copy the exact settings, just like something around this point. It's like a pretty low time and pretty high feedback also. And yeah, the main thing is like the bandpass filter with high resonance and also fairly high cutoff. And basically now if you do as an input, we'll have this with only 2 effects, which is already pretty nice. So already with these 2 effects, maybe you can figure out something even better than I did. And basically on C, you have the radio effect for some extra color. And then lastly on D, to give it even more body. I mean, these are just random words, right? But maybe you can follow what I'm saying. Like to give it a bit more, not even bass, but make it a bit more full. I also put an octave on it with, yeah, roughly these settings. And then, yeah, you can just do transpose sequencer. Again, with reverb, panning delay. These are my go-to settings, I guess. So, yeah. And that's basically it. Vocoder. Well, first of all, I can't really recommend too much using the, like, at least the standard vocoder, if that's what you're talking about. Because, yeah, the standard vocoder doesn't really do too much, unfortunately, from my experience. But, like, it basically, at that point, you might as well also do the bouncing technique. Because that's what it is. It also kind of reacts to what you input. Oh, no problems with the internet connection. All good. Like it kind of basically to activate the vocoder, you will need to input a sound that has similar frequencies to the frequencies in your track. So maybe I can show it with track 4. Yeah, it's quite hard to show it, especially on balance 100. But basically, it kind of merges your input and the input from that track together. And depending on the balance setting, it basically, well, on balance 0, it's just your input. And on balance 100, it's just the output from the track. And somewhere in the middle, it kind of merges it together. But as I said, keep in mind that you will have to have similar frequencies for both input and output. Otherwise, the output won't even play. And that's why it is kind of weird in a way. Because it only partly mixes it together, if that makes sense. Also, you have to make sure that the track plays the entire time. Otherwise, vocoder will not work. What you can do though is like put the fader down to 0. I think that works at least. Yeah, I think that works. And it's but it has to play, which also makes it kind of weird. So yeah, vocoder I can't really recommend that you use it. There is, however, maybe that's what you're talking about. There's another vocoder in here, which is the OS vocoder that you can use with MIDI. Now that one is much more helpful, but I can't go into too much detail here because I'm not using a MIDI device. So yeah. Definitely, if you have a MIDI device and if you want to use a vocoder effect, use this one and not the other vocoder. That's what I can recommend. But yeah. Speak English performance. Yes, I am German. I think it's better though to talk English to reach as many people as possible, because almost everyone will understand English. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, maybe in the chat now, last couple of topics, because I will probably end the stream in a couple of minutes. But yeah. Other than that, maybe I can just say, actually forgot to say this earlier, which is just a big thank you to everyone. It's been quite amazing. The last couple of months, didn't expect like such a big growth in this short time span. I guess it also shows that people really appreciate tutorials on the RC505. So yeah, basically just trying to contribute a bit, but share what I've learned. Again, I'm not an expert either, but just trying to share what I know. And yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, sure. Feel free to write me a message. I can't promise to answer immediately, especially today. I'm not sure how much time I will have, but doesn't hurt to ask, I guess. So yeah, just write me. All good. And yeah, I think that's probably everything. So yeah, thanks guys for watching in the stream. It was a bit scuffed, I know. Still not feeling like 100% fit, but I'm getting there. And I guess in the next couple of weeks it will go back to the usual content. So I will upload my videos. Not really 100% sure on what will be the next video, but I will think of something. And also, like, if you appreciated the stream, it was a bit random, but if you appreciated it, just let me know and maybe I can do another one in the future. So yeah, thanks for watching, and love to see it. Yes, I would love to see it growing too. That would be great. It's already growing a lot, so that's awesome. Yeah. So thank you for everyone in the chat and everyone in general for joining me for today's stream. And yeah, see you another time. Bye bye.